So, how many like people would you say go into making these puppets?
Oh my gosh, it's so many. So on show nights, we're going to have four puppeteers that are going to be on stage for the mice, and then one puppeteer that's going to be for the cat. And they're a very expressive person, so I'm really excited to see what they do. But for making these, I usually take the lead for how we're going to do it, but me and Brooks communicate a lot about the engineering, and we're taking the aesthetic side of it, and he more takes the technical side of it. But we work together a lot. And then we have maybe 5 or 6 people who are also on the team, just helping cut out cardboard, scoring things, making sure that everything is done at the same level of quality. We've had a lot of people come in and help just for a little bit, but everyone wants to contribute to something. I mean, it's a really cool project, but by the end of this show, I don't even know how many people we're gonna have. It's definitely gonna be a lot of people who have contributed with this. So when we wanted to start making the puppets, we knew that we needed 4 mice, which would transform into horses, and we needed them to be relatively big since they were going to be on the stage, and we need people to really see those details. So when we were planning it, we found this one artist who specializes in cardboard animals for productions, and so we took a lot of inspiration from him. So originally, we wanted them to look pretty derpy, with like really big eyes and ears, and like super scraggly whiskers. And then big feet. We definitely wanted them to have big floppy feet. And then just a small jaw that could move up and down so that we could kind of have some expression while they're dancing. Because they will be singing in the production, but not actually singing. They'll more be going like meh, 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 meh. So for making it, we started off with the head shape so we could kind of get the size. And we started off with one piece of cardboard that was kind of this pointed shape. And for the future, after we're finished with our prototypes, we're going to be using like a half of a styrofoam ball for the eyes. So we copied this twice to make 2 parts like that. And then we combined them together with strips of cardboard that connected these 2 pieces. So imagine that they're like this. We had cardboard wrapping around that. So the front view has these 2 original cuts of cardboard with strips connecting it like that. And so once we're finished with our prototypes, we are going to do a print method where we put ink on this top part here and then basically roll it across a piece of paper so we can have a proper pattern, so it's more of a nicer, clean cut piece of cardboard, but it should look like that almost. And then for our body, we wanted to have a pretty flexible body. So we started off with rings of cardboard like this that we scored so that they would be more flexible. And we connected them with almost like a spinal column here, so he can kind of move around like this almost. And our plan is to cover all of that in burlap, because we want them to look very rustic and almost like a little bit dirty, kind of derpy, very natural. And so covering that with burlap, we want to make sure that it can still move, but we can also put stuffing in here so we can make them fat if we want to. And then for arms, we don't have arms on our prototype right now. That's a little bit farther than we've gotten, but we're just going to use pieces of stuffed burlap with little cardboard hands. And those are going to be attached right about here, and they're not going to have actual movement, they're just going to kind of be flapping. So when the mice are jumping up and down, those arms are just going to be flapping along with them. And then for the feet, we made almost paddles, and then slowly started building up those paddles with almost like a foot shape. So we just kept adding more and more. So it kind of created that toe arch like this. And so they have a little bit more refined toes, which is cute. And they also can flap around. So on the body, they're attached right here. And so they can either sit flat like that, or they can go down. So they also have that hinge. And then our plan for our final ones is to have some sort of mechanism where they can both move their mouth and move their head left and right,
we're still working on that, but we do have one that is pretty darn good that our puppet stage head did produce. His name is Brooks Wharf, but he's very talented. He's a freshman this year. But I am like the puppet's crew head almost, and then he's like the person who's going to be making sure that none of the puppets get beat up backstage, because backstage is very rough. We have to make sure they're really solid, because they're going to be in all the practices, like all the rehearsals, dance rehearsals. They're going to be backstage for 3 months. We can't have them being beat up super badly, so making sure that they're supported and that they're made out of materials that can withstand the amount of abuse they're going to get every day is really important for us.